It should be, you can release your video over here. Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Until I see it, that's when I'm gonna believe it. It should be, you can release it. Boom, there we go. Liz Rossilli, happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Season 2.
Season 2. Started up 1 and did, I think, 10 episodes or 9. And now come with season 2. So we should be doing what, 26, because every other week, right? How are you?
I'm awesome. I have big news to share. Yeah, I launched my sales consulting business on Monday, Sales Savvy, and did a full presentation, 37 women on the call. Got a phone call right after from one of the women who said, I was going to send you an email, but you told me I need to pick up the phone. So I called you instead and had a discovery call with her yesterday, and she paid my first client already. Thank you, Wulwyn.
You know why I'm laughing, right? I'm not laughing at you. I am celebrating with you. Oh my good. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, done. It's happening. Yeah, she's like, yeah. So, yeah, I came up with my simple package. She bought it. So, yeah, we're starting work together on Friday. So
simple package.
Yeah,
nothing convoluted. Not simple. And your package. So we talked about this. We talked about it. And oh my goodness, you got me tickled.
But I will tell you that, like, the fact that I had, I knew that I had agreed to speak in, I don't know, like October, and I was like, she's like, can you talk in January? Can you speak and do a presentation? I'm like, oh yeah, January is like, I have forever, right? And so I told my husband, I said, oh my God, you need to just leave me alone the week after New Year's, like the first week of January. I have to get this presentation. I got to get it done. And I needed to get my presentation done. I needed to get my package together, my offer. I had to get my website going. So it's all like in the works now. So.
Oh my goodness. So to you listening out there, I'm going to give a backstory. I want to give a backstory of what selling success is, what sales savvy is. This Liz Rossilli has a whole lot of goodness in her in terms of providing advice and assisting and giving input on years, I would say a life's work of selling. And we started to talk roughly about 6 months ago. We met and just talking from one thing to another, and it comes up like, hey, you can do it. I can do it. Yes, you can do it. And then it's in less than 6 months, it's a product being created from her hard work, nobody else, and has a sale already. And you don't have to create. Something's telling me, I'm going to catch you off guard here. I'm going to catch you off guard. I would have asked you, can you do a quick presentation of it?
Of what I talked about, you mean?
Of what you talked about, or just give a summary of what Sales Savvy is and what's the value proposition of it, 1, and 2, why should someone come knocking on your door?
Well, I would say that one of the first things that I talked about in my presentation was just the need for like a routine, and a need for discipline as far as what you're how you're going to spend your day. What does your day look like? And
Mm.
that's something we can constantly all be working on all the time, and to have purpose in our day and not be reactive but be proactive. So I talked to in my presentation about active sales, and we've talked
Uh-huh.
a lot about this, about the difference between social media, and even the difference between sending an email blast compared to reaching out one-on-one to people. And I mentioned on in my presentation about picking up the phone and having the confidence to pick up the phone, and you need to be prepared. You need
Mm.
to have a script. You need to talk about what you're going to say, what your offer is on the phone, what the purpose of that phone call is.
Gotcha.
You can't call and just spew out your whole what you do completely, because you need to build that relationship a little bit. So just have a purpose, if whether it's to be on that first phone call. Can we set up time to talk? Can we
Mm.
set up time to have a conversation about what you do and what about what I do?
Gotcha.
But have a purpose to that call, whether it's to get someone's email address to then send them something. But I couldn't believe the number of comments while during my presentation when people were like, "You want me to call them? You want me to use the phone?" Like, and especially I think if you're in business to consumer, thinking of like, I think, it used to be back in the day, the phone was all we had. So
Yes.
if you wanted to reach out to someone, you had to pick up the phone. And now it's, someone said, "Should I send a text before I call them to tell them that I'm going to call them?" I said, "No, you call them and then you leave a voicemail if you don't get through to them. You don't have to warn them that the phone's going to ring."
Call, then text.
Yeah, call then text. I just left you a voicemail, but yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. So I think there's a lot of aspects to sales that to build your confidence. You need someone who can help with some of that, someone to bounce your ideas off of. How does this script sound? Does this sound like what I should be talking about?
Yes.
And then I have learned over the last year that the most important thing in any business is accountability. Is you
Mm.
need accountability for all aspects of your business. And I have a money coach now. I have a workout coach, just someone to
Mm.
check in with, or someone that is there in your head saying, when you're going to make a decision, what would Wulwyn think about me doing this? Or I can just reach out to them and say, "What do you think? Does this make sense to you?" Because
Correct.
most of us who are entrepreneurs are in business by ourselves, and we don't have anyone to hold us accountable other than ourselves.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think having I have had a productivity coach before. I now have a business coach too, just someone to kind of be there, to be that sounding board and that accountability partner for
Yes.
you.
And other people who are watching, and even I'm speaking to you and talking to myself, these don't have to be paid paid engagements. It could be barter. It could be someone who who just like you. You're just favored, right?
Mhm. You
It's
can just
you.
ask someone that who maybe has a similar business or is in a similar situation, and just say, "Hey, would you be my accountability partner?"
Yeah.
And you just check in once a week and say, "You said you were going to make these calls last week. Did you do this?"
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
but I think, everyone knows, a lot of people know kind of what they're supposed to do, but I think, especially in sales, the call I had yesterday, she was confusing sales with marketing. So
Mm.
she's done a lot of marketing for her business. She made these great postcards, and she has a beautiful website, but it's about how do you get that into the hands of the right people,
Wow.
so I said to her, I said, "You talk about who's your perfect client." Her perfect client is busy professionals. And I said, well, if it's busy professionals, even though you're business to consumer, you're not even on LinkedIn. Why aren't you on LinkedIn? That's where your customers are. So having someone who can step back from the business, look at your business and say, have you thought about this? Or look at it from a different angle, and use my experience with things like LinkedIn and scripts and just, I told her we can set up your day and say, these are your blocks of time. She was, thrilled and so excited for that. So
You said scripts. What is that?
So I told her that she needs a script because she's afraid to pick up the phone.
Oh, you're talking about that. I thought it was an
Yeah.
application or
No,
something.
scripts, like even I said, you'll have a script for when you pick up the phone to talk to realtors. And then you'll have a script for your voicemail.
Yeah.
And then you'll even have a script for your email that you're going to follow up with. All those steps, if you have it already like a layout, you'll have the confidence. And I said, every phone call you make will get easier and you'll get more comfortable. I said, and then when you get that first response where you have that conversation back and forth and they ask you questions and you can answer those because you are the expert on this,
Yeah.
it feels like nothing else. It feels
Correct.
phenomenal.
You talked about getting she has her customers are busy professionals or busy
Mhm.
individuals. I Websites are cool, right?
Mhm.
And a busy person doesn't have time they're busy. So
Right.
you have a finite and a small amount of time to grab their attention.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're grabbing? So all the marketing, et cetera, as you said, and that's another thing I want to talk about, the difference between sales and marketing. You correctly discussed is is this are we wasting time with certain aspects of our business? And I think yes is my answer, but we're wasting time spending so much time on certain aspects of our businesses that doesn't bring any fruit. And
Right.
if you're spending time on something that doesn't bring fruit, you've done it for 6 months to a year, but because you spent money and that sunk cost putting money into something that continues to go down the drain,
Mhm.
shut that thing off, create something new, or look at what has given you income in the past and spend time doing that.
Right.
For me, it's word of mouth.
Mhm.
It's my clients who I've worked with, they told another person. Never LinkedIn. LinkedIn for me is always connecting. It's
Right.
connecting. That's what I use to connect with people.
Yeah.
Others, as yours is LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn and word of mouth also,
Right. But
right? So
I even think LinkedIn, I don't feel I get many sales from
ah,
LinkedIn,
so it's
but
connection.
I feel like it's the connections too, and
Correct.
just I want people to remember who when I don't want them to have to think, oh, what does she do? Like I want them when they think of me to know exactly what I do.
Excellent.
That's the reminder that LinkedIn has. But I'm thinking now that I've just launched a new business. I already have a full business. I I'm like, okay, what am I gonna sub out to other people? What am I gonna farm out? Like what I just read yesterday or this morning about, know what your expertise is. What's your expertise? And anything that is not your expertise, why are you going to take the time to learn how to do that if there's someone else who can do that for you? And I think when we're new business owners, we think, oh, but I don't have that much money coming in. I can't. But think
Mhm.
about if you could spend all your time on your
Mm,
expertise and
mm,
the sales tactics that are going to actually move the needle and all that other stuff, you know, I don't need to learn how to create a website. Like I don't. Why am I going to take my time learning how to do that? I can just say to someone else, here's my picture, here's my logo, here's my text. Just do this for me. And it's an investment into my business, but but then I can focus on the important things.
And that, my friends, is a whole chapter in B school core competence. Period. You stick to what you know. You will get more money sticking to what you know and will lose less
Hmm.
versus the time spent learning how to do social media, learning how to build a website, learning how to do the marketing. Go to the marketing expert, go to the business coach, go to the savvy salesperson who can teach you, hey, I've done this for years. What you need to do in this case is X, Y, and Z. Oh, really? Bomb, done. It works. You're still building your product or creating your service. So true, so true. So what's on for New Year? What's the New Year resolution? What's
Yeah,
the
I think
plan?
you and I were texting back and forth about our word, and mine is purposeful. So
Purposeful.
last year it was intentional, and I have bumped it up this year to purposeful. So
Ah,
yeah, I had my vision board. I created my vision board for 2021, and I have purposeful right in the middle. I have that I'm going to take my instead of trying to constantly like, "Oh, I need new clients, I need new clients." If I look in my CRM,
mhm.
I have so many clients that I've done business for, and some of them are excellent clients. I am going to this year go deeper into the people who already know me. Why do I need to go and try to find new business and have to explain what I do and build that relationship? I have all these relationships. I'm going deeper with my existing clients. And
Wow.
then I've picked two big dogs for the year. And
That's
I put their logos on my vision board. Right in the corner, big giant logos of the two big clients I'm going to go after for promotional products this year, and so that's part of my vision board. But I look at it every morning now.
have you told anybody who those two are? Would
Oh
that
yeah,
be
yeah.
detrimental to telling?
I
Because
have, I have.
I may know somebody in that place. Somebody who's listening will know somebody in there.
Yeah. So my big one is if you live in North Carolina, is Epic Games.
Ooh,
They just bought the Carytown Center Mall, and I saw that when I
Fortnite.
saw that on the news. When I saw that write up, the minute I saw it, I said, "That they're my I'm going after them." I had this connection, and I was like, I have a few connections already to get me in the door, just not yet with the right people, but
Mhm,
so
mhm.
that's what I'm working on now. Is
There's someone right here in Apex who worked on Fortnite.
mm.
Um, what's her name? Gosh, she has the escape room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know her? Do you know her?
No, no,
Okay,
no.
hey, okay, all right, good.
Yeah. I have a client who already does business with the morale team, which I thought would be a great in.
Okay.
And then I have my daughter has one of her best friends' dad is a big wig at Epic. So
There you go. There you go.
just need
There
to
you
follow up and kind of figure out who it is I need to talk to, and then go after it.
go
So,
after it.
but I feel like if it's on my vision board, you know, it's meant to be. So.
What's the other one?
The other one is, well, I already have Pepsi bottling ventures here in Cary, and BES, which is beverage equipment services for Pepsi
Mhm.
in Garner. But I want to go bigger with Pepsi too. So since I've done a lot of for them, I want to kind of they give me business here and there, little other projects, but I feel like there's more business to be had with them too.
Hey,
So.
hey, hey, be hungry. You know, you said that mine is abundance, right? It's abundance. Abundance, abundance. And what that means for me is there's enough to go around. And I will never tell myself the story that they aren't coming here to me because John took it or Liz took it. No, no. I will get mine and I will run behind mine. The second other option, other things are we talked about writing the book, the ebook, and I it switched from ebook to, so roughly 7 years ago, got a list of titles that I needed to write books on. It just became clear that I would start. I dropped off. I was on two boards. I resigned from them because it was a play for me to build a business,
Mhm.
and it didn't. Not that it didn't pan out. It just wasn't the thing I was supposed to do. I enjoyed working on the boards. Trust me, they were entrepreneurial, helping people, mentoring, which I love doing that. But I got on there because I wanted to say I was on a board. I was on a board. It wasn't the move I was supposed to make.
Mhm.
And when we make those moves, we set ourselves back in a way.
Mhm.
We set ourselves back because they're not in the cards for you. There is not your purpose. You're not purpose driven in there. So now, with those things off the list, there are 8, 10 books that I have to write. I've started. No, serious. I started. It's right here on this other screen, and the time that I would have used to do the other things, I am spending it because I know this is purposeful, it's purpose driven, it's what I'm supposed to
So
do.
are they ebooks though? Are they gonna all be
No, they're
okay?
they're they're they may become ebooks, but they're just my path, what I've been on, my past, my present, my future, and just writing a bunch of spiritual books, waiting on God, getting answers from God, being purposeful, etc. So it's and I in between there, I'm going to write on those things that I told you about.
Well, sometimes I feel like there's certain things that are weighing heavy on you, and you have to get those out before you can get the clarity to then write the other things. Like,
Mhm.
this other thing has to come out. You got to get that out and write that. And then once that's out, then it'll be like smooth sailing after that. So,
Oh my goodness. And all I envision is, so I used to take my laptop to, and this is all selling success, people. It's all selling success. It's what you be purposeful, do what you're supposed to be doing at this time. We always know what we're supposed to be doing. We don't need somebody to tell us. We there's an internal compass that tells you the thing you're doing now is a waste of time, and you agree, yes, it's a waste. I'm gonna do it. Or the thing you're doing is a waste of time. Switch to do the other thing, and you switch, and that's where you talked about discipline yourself in this. So everything we're talking here, writing the books, purposeful, etc., it's all towards selling success for others and success for yourself.
and I
um,
think during COVID, it's given me a chance to slow down and to have that time to then reflect and say, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the right thing? Because before it was like, if you're running, you don't have the time to stop and say, wait, why am I doing this? Like, this part of my business makes no sense. Where now it's like, I've learned to, I'm meditating every morning, I'm taking the time to journal, and some things just come out where you're like, this is not fitting, right? And you can take the time to figure out what's wrong with it, instead of just
wow.
saying, oh, I have to throw that out. Like, maybe part of it will stay, maybe part of it. But I feel like I've had such an amazing year during COVID of clarity, and
Mm.
and I don't want to take any more self I don't need to take any more classes,
Self-help.
but I'm reading a lot more. I'm listening to more valuable information and books,
Yes.
and just kind of trying not to, but at the same time, I feel like so many people are listening to all this stuff and absorbing it, and then they're not taking that step they need to take. They think that they're going to listen to something, and that's going to be the magic words that's they're going to then have that
Gotcha.
to propel them into it. But that you have to do that yourself,
Action.
you know?
You got to take the action.
Yeah.
That is so true. I was scared for you for a while last year. You well, when I'm doing this other conference, I'm on this other Zoom, what you call it, seminar. I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Well, and we think, and it's always good selling success. Invest in yourself. Yes, invest in yourself. But know when that opportunity cost, there's a place of diminishing returns. There's a place where you get to and you keep on doing it. It's not adding anything until you diminish. I'm using the same word in this definition, but it's not supposed to be describing what diminishing returns is. But you have to diminish what you have learned, used it to add more in to create that level of success again, or to add that value to what you know. Reading books, you go into these seminars, great, but when what you learn from it, you have to enact. You have to put it into action and not add more in it. Just what you said. So great stuff. I'm reading too. I I read a book called I Heard God Laugh, and in there was a topic on carefree timelessness.
Mhm.
What carefree timelessness is what you see young people when they fall in love. They just go and hang out for no reason at all, no agenda. They're just hanging out because they want to be around each other. And it's us hanging out, me hanging out with God because God, I don't want a blessing from you. I just want to hang out with you. Carefree timelessness, hanging with my family, my spouse, my wife, hanging
Mhm.
with your daughter, hanging with your son, hanging out with your children. And what that does, believe it or not, I connected and it's like, oh my goodness, I've become less busy in 2021. At 5 o'clock, I'm done. I go in my son's room and I say, hey, what's up? We talk. We get on the Nintendo Switch and we play. Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. He beats me well, or I beat him sometimes. Or I go to my daughter, she's talking to her friend, and I'm like, hey, so what y'all doing? What y'all talking? We talk, my wife. And what that does for me is when I engage for work, when I engage with this thing I call work, I know that the people behind me are okay. I have
Right.
spent time with them. It's time now for me to have this carefree timelessness with my work where I don't think about, is my wife upset that I'm working? Are the
Right.
kids, do the kids need something? It's
Right.
setting myself up for success.
Yes.
And that's,
Well, last week, so I felt like over the holidays, we usually go away. We didn't go anywhere. We were stayed here, and we were together all the time, which is great. But at the same time, if we go away, then I can be on the beach or wherever we are, and everyone's doing stuff, and I can have time to kind of do my 2021 planning, even if I'm on vacation. But
mhm,
because we were together all the time, I felt like I didn't have any like it was like all of a sudden New Year's and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have like a plan like that. I don't have that feeling that I'm like ready for the new year. So I went to the beach last week. I told my husband,
okay,
I said, I'm going to the beach. The kids are virtual all week. I'm going I need this week. I need a mini retreat and I need
mm,
to just figure out my year because I feel
yes,
like you need a plan
correct.
to start the year and just I think having here's your business plan. You also do need a sales plan. I feel like
Mm,
I'm really now getting into my trying to be disciplined about my time blocking and
yes.
a plan every day. So Tuesdays, this is what my day looks like. I don't have to redo it every week because this is going to be what my Tuesday looks like and this is what my Wednesday
Mm,
looks like.
wow.
And
Wow.
so I think my word is purposeful and also discipline is what I'm working on for this year. So
So here's what so my Mondays and Fridays are done, right? I just spend time meditating. Um, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I do meetings for some and work some. What I heard you say here, and I'm going to give an example for me and see if this is what you said. And I want to hear your feedback. spend Tuesday for meetings. Take from 10 to whatever time meetings.
Hmm.
Take Wednesday and do it for planning or working on the business. Take Thursday and do it for something, cleaning the office or visioning and da da da. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like the whole day. You could say that these 2 hours. I'm reading the 12-week year right now still, and it's about, here's your, 1 week, 1 day a week you should have a 3-hour block of working on your business, not in your business,
Yep.
and that should be your tactics and your planning, and all that is in that time block. But then you need, I call it the golden hours, of when are you making these, when is there's a certain time of day when you're at your best, and
Mm-hmm.
your clients are also working at that time, so you can't do this at night, you can't do this, at 6 o'clock at night. But like, what time is it 10 to 12, where if you're going to be making sales calls and you're going to be sending emails when you think they might be, or texting, like, those are the golden hours. Nothing else gets in the way of those hours. Those are your hours to make your calls, to do your true, that's not social media time, that's like
Mm-hmm.
time to do your true business work, then things that you want to get a reply right away, you want to pick up the phone, and you just have to set that and put like gold around that, and don't let anyone touch that time. You don't
Correct.
answer the phone, and so having those times in there too. And maybe it's only twice a week that you have, an hour, and you say, I'm going to make, I'm going to reach out to this many people this day.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like, I'm now going to follow up with all my existing customers and just say, hey, can we set up a time? I want to talk about your 2021 plan for your marketing. Like, let's sit down and have a meeting, instead of
Mm.
always waiting for them, or being like, hey, anything going on
Correct.
now. I want them to come up with a big plan, to see it as an overview too. So that's all follow up that I need to pick up the phone. And that can be during the gold. You can call existing customers or prospects during that time. So I think just kind of blocking out your day, yeah, sometimes the phone will ring and maybe it's a customer, maybe it's someone you need to talk to, that's okay. But kind of, yeah, here's my office time of when I'm paying bills and I'm doing kind of my administrative
Yes.
stuff. That's Friday afternoon, kind of when you don't really need to think that hard,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
figure out what's important for Monday morning to set your week up for success, and yeah, and then just block your day that way, and just kind of have themes and blocks throughout the day.
Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. I feel that to that the nuggets given today, right? Just as this, do you feel that the discussion is just flowing? Do you?
Yeah.
It's just it flows. It's flowing rather, and there are things to just extract from it. Because I've been writing notes here as you've been
I
talking.
think because I had to do this proposal last week, and then I
Uh-huh.
had to get into the mindset of being a coach and helping other people, other than just helping my own business. It
Yes.
really helped me to kind of clarify. Like, I have my first meeting with my new client on Friday. I don't have like worksheet. I don't have everything perfect for her, because right now it's so new. I don't want to say this is the way I'm going to do this. Like, it's going to be a work. I've told her it's a work in progress. We're going to figure out what you need, and I'll kind of go as we go, So,
Guess what? I can advise you on that one. So the leadership mentoring that I do,
mhm,
I I did a brainstorm of what I would want what I would want from a mentoring
mhm,
scenario. And I listed those things down, dot, 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 dot. And this was in 2018. I met a gentleman who worked at Microsoft and C-level, and we had coffee at Starbucks. While talking, I told him, "Hey, I'm starting to do a leadership mentoring program. And as we talked, he said, "What I did one at Microsoft." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, what did you do with, because he was a recipient of the mentoring program. I said, "What did you do at that level?" Because I'm doing C-level mentoring. He goes, "Oh, I did dot 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 dot." And I'm looking at the guy going, "Hold up, I have my laptop here. Can you see what I put down for it?" And I opened my laptop. When I
Mhm.
opened the laptop, Liz, he looks and says, "Hmm, these are identical to what I did. The only thing that happened was we recorded ours. We did a video recording of it so that we could look at it and pick up everything." I was like, "Oh, that's a value add." And what
Mhm.
am I saying? The those steps morphed. Maybe I tweaked them 3 or 4 more times. And what I have now is I go by it, boom, boom, boom. The pieces that you have now,
Mhm.
they are they are exactly what you need to have for your client. Be so confident
Mhm.
that this is exactly what the client needs. And as you're doing it, you would see that the client would say something and go, and what go over the entire thing with them. Here's what the process is.
Mhm.
And do you see anything we need to add or remove or change the places? And they would tell you. And when she tells you or he tells you, trust me, that's exactly these grand things. Dave Ramsey, financial plan of success, and all. That's how this started. This started with what's in that beautiful mind of yours. You put them down, and you put them through the ringer. It comes out. "Oh, this is it. That's it." You put a TM at the top of it, circle it, and I'm serious. It's not rocket science,
No,
people.
it's
It's
not.
not rocket science.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
when we see TM next to it, like, "Oh, they trademarked that thing. That is the thing." Creating the arm that you want, TM.
Yeah. 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 But I think too, it's important for people to know that right now, if you go to sales savvy to get salessavvy.com, it still says coming soon. Like it's not done. Like I was like a couple days before, I was like, oh my God, I need to get my website. You know, I did get my PayPal up and running so that I could get paid right
You
away.
better.
But just saying that it doesn't matter. And then yesterday they sent out a follow-up email after the call, and with like here's recap, and here's what we're, you know, the offer, and I
Hmm.
had put my Facebook page, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have anything on my Facebook page. So yesterday
Hey.
I was like, I better start posting, just get something up there and just start getting, you know, followers. But it's okay. It doesn't, you know, I'm letting people know it's brand new. I'm just launching so that it doesn't have to be perfect. It
It's
just,
you know the key? You started.
yeah, yeah,
Start. That's the
yeah,
point. Start.
yes, just
Start.
start. Yes,
Ooh.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Start. I remember. So, oh, now you conjuring up something. I remembered. So I've written a book already, right? And it's roughly, gosh, 35,000 plus words. So it's kind
Mhm.
of kind of big. And I thought to myself, when I had the outline, I was like, this outline, am I going to finish it? Am I going to do it? And come to think, it's done. And I'm starting this new book. I have the outline, and I'm at 5 pages already. And I'm going 5 pages. Will 5 pages become 20? Will it become 50? Will it become 100? Yes, it will become 100. When I start, because I have started. It will change, it will grow, it will get bigger. The point
Mhm.
is you started. And
Yeah.
when the client says, um, is there somewhere I can do it? I'm like, oh no, I will create that, and I will send it out to you in a second. It's okay, because guess what? It's one client now.
Yeah.
Later on, when the 10th client, or you have 20 at one time, you would have created all the systems and processes out,
Yeah.
and, and would have done it.
Yeah. I already, so we had a discovery call yesterday and talked through what, you know, where she is and what she needs. And so I already have I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do your LinkedIn. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to come up with your schedule for your day. And then we're going to come up with your scripts. And she's like, that's great. And then she already asked me after because my package is 4 sessions for total of 4 hours.
Okay.
She's like,
Okay.
already asked me, well, after that, can I buy more? I said, yes, you can. You can,
There
you
you
can buy
go.
another package,
There you go.
so.
And then you will create a new package out of something she would say like, oh yeah, we can do that. I will create something identical. So similar to what you and I talked a couple months ago with this client who's going to pay the final today. I thought I had broken the packages down for the right, with the right time and the right amounts. And here comes another customer who says, I don't have that. However, I have this. And I looked at it and broke it down even further. But when you hear breaking down doesn't mean I'm breaking my foot or shooting myself in the leg. No, I just I streamlined it, made it
Mhm,
smaller, but
mhm.
I got paid my hourly rate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. It's an art. It's not a science.
No, it is. It is. And it's like anything else. It's like like you said, you have to just start. And I kept saying to her, I'm like, what's the worst that can happen if you pick up the phone? Like, you're gonna, I told the story in my presentation that I'll tell you that. I
Okay.
don't know if we talked about this, but when I was first making sales calls, I went out with my brother and we went to Poughkeepsie, New York. We didn't go, we went to New York, and it wasn't New York City, it was Poughkeepsie. And he sent me out back in the day with index cards. Each index card had a hardware store on it with the name and the address. And then you had your atlases and you'd plan out your count. There's no navigation system, no computers, nothing. And so I went out my first day and I did not make a sale. I couldn't get anyone to really talk to me. They were rude. It was a bad area. It was awful. And I came back to the hotel that night and I told him, I said, I'm done. I'm done with sales. This was awful. I hate it. I hate it. I hate sales. And he said, here, and he gave me a different set of index cards. He said, go out, try again tomorrow. And I went out the next day. Better, the area just looked better. The downtown was nicer. I closed 8 stores in that day, 8 sales, and
Mm.
was like, didn't eat any caffeine all day. I was like flying high. I was like,
Yep.
I got back to the hotel that night and I was like, oh my God, I love this. This is amazing, And he said, I gave you the bad cards the first day because I didn't want you to screw up on the good accounts your
Mm.
first day out when you were trying to
Mm.
practice your sales pitch, And
Wow.
so I think if you're nervous about making those calls, don't go with your top of your prospect list. Start somewhere in the middle, or
Mm.
even your friends. Call them and ask them if they'll pretend that they're a customer or a prospect, and just let. But the more you practice, but yeah, and then when you get to those A prospects, you'll be ready. And each
Mm.
call, it's unbelievable the growth you have from just making the call. And once you get through those first few seconds, just remember you're the expert. You're the expert. Any objections they have, any questions, you're going to know the answers once you get through
Mm.
that first few
Wow.
seconds of the call.
Wow. And on that note, I'm gonna end because I'm not gonna destroy that. I will not add to it. I will not remove from it. Liz, it was great talking to you today, as always.
Maybe a couple months we get to do this live.
Definitely, definitely,
Looking forward to
definitely.
that day.
I'm telling you, and see the interaction and they how we work together.
And give you a hug.
Hey, I know, and I do the well, Liz, I see you in what, 2 weeks? We talk in 2 weeks, but we keep texting and call if need be. You have a blessed one.
I have a little present for you that you can expect soon in the mail. So
Hmm.
just a little present. So 2021 present. So something for you to look forward to. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys take care. Selling Success. EP1 Season 2. It's a wrap. Bye-bye.